Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Tennessee adds another commitment via the transfer portal. This one, a huge position of need, a priority. Jermod McCoy, Oregon State corner, has made it official. He will be coming to Rocky Top, and that is a position, again, a huge position of need. You go back to when the transfer portal opened. Some of these guys asked to leave. You got to understand that. I think this is a youth movement. I think this is an overhaul. I think this is trying to rebuild the secondary from scratch, but you saw Warren Burrell jump into the portal, head off to Georgia Tech, Danico Slaughter off to Arkansas, Tamarian McDonald off to Ole Miss, also Brandon Turnage, Jack Luttrell, Deshaun Rucker, so many guys in that secondary, whether they were asked to leave, whether they wanted NIL money, it's speculation at this point, but the bottom line is the Tennessee secondary was not very good a year ago. Towards the bottom of the SEC in passing yards allowed per game, I think they were like 74th, 75th in the country in passing yards allowed. And I don't think there's anything wrong with overhauling the secondary, especially with a youth movement. We're going to talk about some of the depth chart coming up in just a second. But you can take a look here. Again, Jermod McCoy entered the transfer portal back on December 5th. You can see the post there where he announces that he will be entering the transfer portal. Now, he is a guy that once he entered the portal, take a look at the offers. They started to pile in. Washington, Oregon, SMU. You go on and continue to scroll up. Michigan State, Utah, Louisville, Texas Tech. Now you start to see the SEC schools come into play. Auburn, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Arkansas. You see USC, Colorado, Oklahoma, the Gators, and also more specifically the Tennessee Volunteers. Says thank you, Coach Martinez and Vol Football for the offer. He has accepted that offer. He is committed to the University of Tennessee. Again, we keep this momentum rolling in the transfer portal, and I get it, man. There was some doubt early. What is Tennessee doing? What's taking so long? We saw a lot of guys come on campus, take visits. You've knocked out some of your priority targets, and I think you got to praise this coaching staff for what they've done so far. You're going to see some more names. You're going to see some more movement. You're going to see how they close out the recruiting for the class of 2024. Don't be surprised if before we get into the new year, you see some new names emerge in that class of 24. But I also think, I've talked this to death the last week or so. If you're going to talk about the transfer portal, you're going to talk about recruiting, you're going to talk about NIL, you've got to include that offensive line and that defensive line. That was part of the strategy, whether it be where do you spend your NIL money, where do you focus. I think it's crucial. I think it's huge. I can't say it enough, and I'll continue to say it. If you want to debate with me what this coaching staff strategy was for 2024, I think it started with your offensive line and your defensive line, and you're returning just about every one of those guys. The entire offensive line, the entire defensive line outside of Tyler Barron, I think that is huge. But we're here to talk about Jermod McCoy. We're going to do that in just a second, but as always, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up just below this video. That is quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you here. We talk with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We cover Tennessee football every single day of the year right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So if you enjoy that, make sure you're dialed in, tuned in, and ready to get into it. But let's talk about Jermod McCoy. Again, the latest commitment via the transfer portal. You can see there on the screen, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Now, he was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school, but the 247 Sports transfer rankings have him as a 4-star, top 75 overall player, and a top 10 at the corner position. I think that's, it's important. Again, we talk about priorities, the needs for this football team after the mass exodus. And again, call it what it is. Are guys being asked to leave? Yeah, I think some of them. Are some of them seeking NIL money? Yes, probably. But when you look at the corners, you look at the safeties going into 2024, that part of the roster is depleted. So adding Jermod McCoy, absolutely huge for this coaching staff going into next season. Now, again, 6 foot, 180 pounds. For his career, he played in 12 games, had 4 starts, ended the season with 31 tackles. 16 of those were solo, 2 interceptions, and 7 passes defended. This is from 247 Sports. Says McCoy has emerged as a coveted cornerback in the portal after an impressive freshman season at Oregon State. Goes on to say the 6-foot, 180-pounder who has 3 years of eligibility remaining, total 31 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions with a fumble recovery as well. He's garnered a slew of offers. It goes on to rattle off those offers that we've already talked about. Says he's a top 70 player, number 6 transfer corner per 247 Sports. You flip over to On 3. They say, what's on tape? McCoy is a guy that played over 400 snaps for the Beavers this year and became a focal point of their defense. Good length and instincts at corner. He shows a real ability as a pass defender, but is very natural in playing against the run, and for a young guy is willing to be physical. I like to read that. I like to read that he's willing to be physical. I think that is the key. I think that's something that's been missing for this Tim Banks defense, and I think it is why you're seeing the overhaul in the secondary. I think they want corners that can play physical. I think they want corners that can play man-to-man coverage. I think that is how this Tim Banks defense thrives. You know, we've seen it. We've seen it at times. When they've been able to go out and play man and play physical is when they have their most success. And if you can put it all together, if you can get that defensive line, Rodney Garner's defensive line getting pressure on the quarterback, linebackers playing disciplined football, and physicality at the corner position, I think we're going to see what this Tim Banks defense can truly be. I know a lot of you in the chat, a lot of you in the comments aren't fans of Willie Martinez. You're not fans of Tim Banks, but I think it's fair to see what they can do when they overhaul the talent in the secondary. Now, moving on here, he did visit Tennessee coming up the week after the transfer portal opened. This is what he had to say. He said, I loved it. Said, I think it's a great opportunity for me. If I were to come there, he says, the culture, I love the interactions we had. They're down to earth to me and straight up with me. I like that in coaches. They showed me the depth chart. Said they have a lot of guys leaving and I could come here and step up. Would be a good opportunity. Said I talked to all of them, Josh Heupel, Willie Martinez, Tim Banks. They were all straight up with me and told me they want me to come in and be the guy. Now, you know, when you look again at the depth chart for 2024, going to be interesting to see what happens with Gabe Jeudy-Lally. I would love to see him back. All signs indicate that he's going to be gone. So are you looking at the corner position for 2024? Are you looking at a sophomore in Ricky Gibson at one side, and then now Jermod McCoy coming in as a sophomore transfer from Oregon State, starting on the opposite side of him? You've also got Jordan Matthews. You've got Christian Conyer, a couple of guys in that corner, at that corner position that I think have all kinds of talent, more athleticism. I think that's the key that we're going to see at the corner position in 2024 is more athleticism across the board, and I think that can help and make this defense better. Moving on here, he talks about also playing in the SEC, says that's good competition. The coach has put a lot of guys in the league. I think that's good for me because that's my ultimate goal, to get to the league. He goes on to say the big opportunity for me to be able to get the starting spot, to compete for that one in the SEC. Says, I like it up here a lot. They showed me everything pretty quick. The facilities were amazing. I like the city. Now it's kind of mixed with downtown, but it's campus at the same time. That's what Jermod McCoy had to say after the visit. But he did make it official today. He is in the boat. What do you think about what Josh Heupel and what this coaching staff has done through the transfer portal thus far? Again, they had some positions of need. They're going out and they're picking and they're choosing. And, you know, again, to say the same thing, to beat the dead horse. Boogie, why are they not going after the 5 stars? Why are they not going after Juice Wells? Why aren't they going after the Georgia 5-star players, the Alabama 5-star players? I think a big part of that is finding guys that are a culture fit at a position of need. Also, you got to think about NIL money. Oh, we're the number 1 collective in the country. Drop the bag, drop the bag, drop the bag. Well, how much of that bag got spent on Cooper Mays? How much of that bag got spent on John Campbell, on Javonte Spraggins, on Gerald Mincey, on Big O, on, you know, all those guys on the defensive line and the offensive line? How much of that NIL money got spent there? But I still think this coaching staff doing a great job filling positions of need. We'll continue to track the transfer portal, continue to track recruiting right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Got the film breakdown series coming back soon with Coach Jay. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But as always, make sure you guys smash a thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got those brand new Cult of 8 shirts. We've also got rivalry shirts, FUGA, Gator Hater, Buck Fama. Or if you want a clean version, beat Bama, beat Florida, beat Georgia, Vols by 50, state pride, whatever you want is there. Get in where you fit in. That link is also in the description below. You want to also support this channel, hit the join button down there. It's right beside subscribe. Hit that join button for $1. You are contributing. This site, this channel, this YouTube channel is fan funded. We don't function. We don't survive without you. So you want to keep this thing moving forward. Hit that join button. Contribute to this channel. We would greatly appreciate that. But if not, that's fine. Smash the thumbs up because that's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.